Good morning, everyone, and a very warm welcome. It is an absolute pleasure to welcome you to another inspiring edition of Spark, Shift, Succeed, USBI's transformational workplace series, where we bring together thought leaders, innovators, and change makers who challenge the way we think, lead, and grow. My name is Maud Sodete, and I am your host. Whether you're joining us from your office, your home, or somewhere in between, thank you for choosing to invest in your personal and professional growth. Today's conversation is especially meaningful because it speaks to an experience many ambitious women know all too well: the tendency to downplay our achievements, question our value, and make ourselves smaller in order to fit into spaces we were always meant to lead. Our session today is titled Soft Power: How Women Stop Shrinking and Start Showing Up with Influence and Intention. Our exceptional speaker is the one and only Ursula Botha. Ursula is an executive coach, researcher, leadership facilitator, and passionate advocate for helping ambitious professionals unlock their full potential. Drawing on original research with executive women across South Africa, combined with insights from respected executive coach Caroline Strauss, Ursula has developed practical, evidence-based frameworks that empower women to lead with confidence, authenticity, and purpose. Through coaching, facilitation, and thought leadership, Ursula has supported leaders in transforming not only how they perform, but how they see themselves. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a very warm virtual welcome to Ursula Botha. Ursula, over to you.
Oh, thank you so much for that beautiful introduction. USBI, your intros are fantastic. And it is so lovely to be with all of you on this Monday morning. USBI, you are consistent in showing up to us for a Monday morning. So I just want to say thank you. And we are getting ready for Women's Month. And I know some people, give a bit of an eye roll for Women's Month, but it is so valuable and so important, and I'm taking full advantage. And so today we're looking at this lens of how we can empower and influence and make that impact, especially for women. Now, let's start. Congratulations. You are cast in the lead movie, and this movie's name is called The Should Day. So, you lights, camera, action. You wake up, hot water, lemon, you take your creatine, your green drink, you down your coffee, and off you go to your high rocks class because running isn't good enough anymore. You get back home, you have your egg whites, your protein shake, because how are you supposed to get so much protein into your body? And you get into the car, you quickly make that Checkers 60/60 order while you're driving, you check in with your mom, you walk into the office. You're calm, you're cool, you remember Sally's daughter's netball game, you ask her about it. You walk into the boardroom and you hit the sweet spot. You've got that assertive voice. You're not too loud, you're not too soft, just right. And then you're back at your desk. You tick off your to-do list. Tick, 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 tick. And then you add a few more on that list, and then you're having lunch behind your desk by your computer, because this is what we call time management. And then you get home, you whip out that dinner from the freezer, and you don't check your emails. You go wash your face, you get ready for bed, you check your email, you do a little bit of work, you end up doom scrolling. It's between work and doom scrolling. And then the next thing you realize is way past your bedtime, and you close the phone, you open your book on why sleep matters. And that was just one day. Tomorrow, we are starting the should day all over again, except this time it's going to be faster. Right? Can you all agree with me that things are just getting so fast? Now, here's the part of the subtext that I didn't give you. Can you tell my previous life I was an actress? My previous career I was an actress. So the subtext of this character is that most of these things you're doing, is a should. Most of it feels like I should be doing this, 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 this. I want you to think about your week coming up. What's feeling like should? I should go to that event, or I should be doing those things. I should be more on top of everything. What's that for you? Okay, we're just bringing that into your awareness. So I want to share with you one of my personal shoulds that I grappled with this year. And that was a pitch I had to do for one of my lead clients. So this client was 78% of my business. Eek, I know, feel that. And they invited all of their vendors to come re-pitch to them their value. They were just doing a whole needs analysis for the business and seeing like which vendors do we want to keep working with. And so I pitched my heart out. And this is stuff I teach my clients, right? And and at the end they say, don't call us, we'll call you. And I never got that call. And so there was a lot of shoulds running in the script that I was running of my movie. And so the shoulds were I should have prepared better. I should have had brochures. I should have had testimonials. I should have had more clients in my system by now. And here's a should that landed quite hard for me. I should have charged them less, you know? So you can drive yourself crazy. I was driving myself crazy with all of these should have done better. And the impact on that was going smaller. So your confidence takes a knock, and all I wanted to do was go smaller and less visibility, less trying, less putting myself out there, less energy. Because we all do what we got to do. But that pressure of the should, it often makes us shrink. And this is something that many women can relate to is the should script. And the beauty of releasing that should is you start seeing all the opportunities, all the possibilities. And here's one possibility, an option that came up for me. And that was the writing of the book, Soft Power. And we started calling it How Executive Women Lead with Presence. And now it's force with influence without force. Because there's a lot of movement, everything is fast right now. And yeah, we want to soft power our way through that. So I am going to share my screen with you. Let's see, can you see my screen? Give me a thumbs up if you can see it. Paul, I think Mel said yes, thank you. So started writing a book with this beautiful woman, Carolyn Strauss. She is my mentor. I say in the book that I borrow her with you, with the readers. And Carolyn's actually going to be doing a session here on a Monday morning with you very soon. So I'm very excited for that too. So we started the book and we started putting out surveys and started doing the research. So here's why it matters. So there's this shift in the world. We're all feeling it. We could feel it in the movie. We are changing from this command and control to connection and trust. Ladies, we're good at this. And there's this element of reinvention. We know agility, innovation. It's exciting and it puts pressure on us. But we want to take advantage of the reinvention space that we're in right now. We don't want to pretend. And that's the big thing about soft power. No more pretending to the script. It is really presence. It's about authenticity. And people are more aware these days of, can I believe this? Is this true? Is this an AI? Like, we want to feel that human essence and presence. And we don't want false. The world's got enough of that. And we're going to influence with soft power. So soft power is made out of full faculties. And we look at the autonomy, that's the releasing from these scripts. Then there's an element of agency. This is the ability to choose. Your assertive voice, very, very important for women. This is how we negotiate, how we set our boundaries, how we ask for our needs. So guiding them with all of these, and then how we amplify. This is our network and the story we tell, the story of us. And I would love to go through all of that with you today, but I have been told that we have these beautiful 20 minutes together. So I want to just focus on like one thing that you can take away with you on this gorgeous Monday morning. And we're going to look at autonomy. So we've looked at these scripts that many women tell themselves. Now, here's another stat, and I always do an eye roll moment when I hear the stat, the 100%, 60%. You might have heard this before. Women want to feel 100% ready before they go for that big opportunity, before they go for that interview, where men are like, oh, 60% and I can go. So what became very powerful for me when I started playing with this statistic is yes, it's very real for many of us. Last week I was working with my friend and client, and we were doing interview preparation for a very big opportunity that's come her way. And she said to me, you know what, Ursula, I've only got 100% acceptance rate for any interview I've ever gone for. Any interview I go for, I get it, which puts a lot of pressure in going on to the next interview. And as we're moving into this time of rapid reinvention, rapid agility, we've got to let go of the 100% mark, right? We've got to be able to release that and experiment and play. So what helped me to know that I want that 100%, it helps me influence myself. Now I know I can, like, I want that 100%. I can allow myself to be 60%. When I work with women, we can encourage each other, nudge each other. So that girlfriend you're working with, that colleague, your daughter, we know this about ourselves. So how can we encourage to experiment, to play, to take those tiny, tiny risks? So Carolyn and I got really curious about the pressure women put on themselves, about the should scripts that's running in the background. So we sent out the should survey. I sent it out to my network of women. These are women who, most of them work in corporates, or they're entrepreneurs, they're running their own businesses, they are middle managers, they're executives, so quite empowered in what they're doing. And we sent it out onto LinkedIn, and Carolyn shared it with her community. And we let the women rate themselves on 20 I should statements. And from that rate out of 5 being like, I really resonate with this, 1 being it's not really important to me. And then we had open-ended questions to find out what are the shoulds they're holding on to, where they're feeling empowered, what's coming up with them. And so the data told an interesting story. And it does show a shift. It does show a shift of, imagine women 10 years ago filling in the survey to women now. Like, what are they resonating with? Before I share it with you, because I'm sure you're thinking, ooh, what did they say? And what would come up for me? So before I share that with you, I lost the thought, it's Monday. So let's share with you. Oh, this is it. So most women carry a high 8, at least like highly ranked 8 I should statements with her. So that does show. Like for my male friends who I asked to read the book, they were like, this is a completely foreign concept to us. Where women, this is often feels very natural and normal. So are you ready for our I should statements? Here we go. So what is interesting, most of the highly ranked statements are about visibility and money. I should be earning more. I should be making more money. And especially even in the where they had to fill out what is a should that you're carrying, a lot of them are saying, I should make more money. And then what was interesting, here was the interesting shift. If you even look onto the second column, I should want to have, have, and love having children. We're at the 40%. You know, I should have a partner. We're getting on the lower, below 50% of women are defining themselves according to relationships. And there's definitely, I want to be seen, and I know I need to be more visible. So I would love to engage with you in the chat box. You can share with me what should is coming up for you. What should you resonate with? You can share that with us in the chat, just what's resonating. And now, so these are the things that came up. But the biggest feedback we got from women was, you know what, Ursula, thank you that I could take the survey because it made me aware. Because information does not change behavior. But when you're aware, and this made them so much more aware, and calling it out, and even when they could write out what are the shoulds they want to release, that created space. That creates autonomy. That creates freedom. That helps us shift and become more agile in the stories we're telling ourselves. So here's one that really stuck to me because this is just typical. So typical. So we're writing, what is the one should you're still holding on to? And she tells us, I should be more ambitious. I should be more together. I should be further in my career, more organized. And on top of all of that, I should be funnier. And, even a client was telling me last week, I'm going to share, if you want to share this with anyone in your organization, with a woman in your lives, if you want to take it because you're curious, like, what does this process feel like and what can you release? Here it is. Just try it out, play with it. So, even last week I was working with a client and we're working on storytelling. And then she said, Ursula, I want to be funnier. And I said to her, you don't need to be funnier. And really, she said, I said, yeah. And I know someone like Paul is thinking, of course, like when speakers are funny, it's great. But I said to her, you don't need to be funny. And the amazing thing is, then we were working on storytelling skills. She is hilarious. So when we just take that pressure off, we can unlock so many other things. So I do want to leave you with a valuable tool which kind of goes into agency, and 20 minutes goes by so fast. So we're going to get into the tool and then we can go into a bit of a Q&A. So the tool is with choice. When we have agency, a character in a movie, we want to get them to the end of the movie where they have agency, and that is choice. So Isaac Newton said, like, an object in motion stays in motion. And when women get scared, when anyone gets scared and fearful, we go into retreat and we get a little bit stuck and we push back. And I see this with my guys who have to negotiate deals. And when they get that pushback, it stalls. And, business and deals move at the speed of trust. So how do we get ourselves to influence ourselves, to trust ourselves more, and for us to trust our clients more, and to keep things in motion, especially now we're living in a time of motion. So for the book, we were looking like, what is the one decision-making matrix we need? And it's so complex and nobody can remember any of them. And so these are the 2 words I want you to remember for the rest of the week. And I want you to practice them. And the 2 words are you ready? For now. That's all. That's all. For now. And you're going to start saying it at the end of your sentences. So I'm going to share with you the slide, and this is how for now looks like. This is how we wiggle out. So I was telling you about that client who I pitched to, and then it got me into that stuck moment. And I've been wiggling ever since that pitch. I've been making little for now shifts. And for now, I went into a season of lots of coaching because that felt more comfortable and safer. And I was doing that for a season. And then we're going to shift into a different season. Now we're moving into Women's Month. And for now, we're going to help women find their voices and build their voices and amplify and express their voices. And that's how we're just going to keep wiggling and we build more self-trust. So what is that decision you're sitting with this week and you're feeling stuck and you need to create some momentum? I'm going to paint the house gray for now. I'm going to settle on this price point with this client for now, and we're going to reevaluate it later. I'm going to give this client this prescription for now, and then we're going to see how it goes. I'm going to try this workout plan for now. That's all we need. So try these little words to wiggle your way and to get back into your state of motion, because information doesn't change behavior. I see that the team is giving me hearts. They're saying, oh, we're almost going to go. Before we end, it's been so amazing to spend the morning with you. Before we end, I want to bring you back to your movie, The Should Day. And I want you to invite yourself to call that movie your name, the I Choose Day. It's the My Day. And in that movie, I'm giving you the script. I'm going to take away the shoulds and we're going to bring in the for nows. And this is so important because we really, really want to reinvent with the times, shift forward, and nudge forward because we know we don't have to get it 100% right. I want to leave you with this. Last thing I want to leave you with. So, in my interview with Amelia Beatty, I asked her, what is your definition of soft power? And she nailed it. So Amelia Beatty, for those of you who don't know, she's the CEO of Liberty 2 Degrees. She's a power woman. And she shared with me, you know what, Ursula, it's hard for women. It really is. The system was not designed for them. And it cost me a lot. And it cost me a lot to be here. And she said the difference between, for her, for soft power, is the difference between being nice and kind. Nice is being a walkover. Nice builds resentment. But kind holds the standard, it holds the boundary, it is assertive, it is grounded and clear. So I really want to leave you with that last piece as you go into your week. Thank you so much, USBI, and thank you so much for everybody for being on this call. It's really, really wonderful. And I believe, Mal, I'm going to hand over to you. Hopefully we have some lovely questions.
Ursula, thank you so much. I personally love your storytelling. I love your work and your passion. Thank you very much for sharing your presence with us. That was absolutely wonderful. I wish we had more time. I don't think that was just a conversation about leadership. It was a powerful reminder that influence is not about being the loudest person in the room. It is about having the courage to own your own value, trust your voice, and use your influence with intention. It was absolutely beautiful, Ursula. Thank you so much. I think one thing that really stood out for me was the idea of the should script, that internal voice that tells us I should have done better, I should be earning more money, I should have said more, I should have been more confident, I should be holding a higher position in my company. Like the many times we do that is actually insane. And thank you very much for shedding lights on that. I think as women, that voice can be incredibly powerful when we feel that we haven't performed well enough, and we can actually be our own harshest critiques. You said such beautiful pearls of wisdom. Are you ready for now? What a thought. Now, I can't be unstingy. I need to hand over to the audience. So we do have a few comments and questions. Let me go into the chat. Paul said, they say should is the most self-sabotaging word in the dictionary. Wow,
They
that's
are
incredible.
smart. Paul, I'd love to know who they are. Bring it. I'm going to use that line. Thank you. Yeah. Self-sabotaging. That's exactly what it is.
Exactly. And then we have a comment from Sarah. Sarah says, absolutely love the title of your book. Congratulations on achieving this fabulous milestone. I look forward to reading it.
Oh, thank you, Sarah. So excited. And to be honest, it is in the second draft. It's been shared with all the publishers. We've put it out there. And yeah, we're just going on that journey. It's very exciting.
Congratulations, Ursula. Amazing. We're proud of you. We are.
Thank you.
LaRue said, this is great. Thank you for sharing this with us, Ursula. Thanks, LaRue. And then Mandy said, at the time that you were sharing I should, Mandy said, I should spend more time with my family.
I wonder which Mandy, if I know this Mandy.
You know
Thank you
this
for
Mandy.
sharing. Oh, I love this Mandy. Thank you for being brave and sharing with us.
Thank
It
you.
so
Thank you.
resonate. You're doing your best.
She is. We know she
is.
We have a comment from Millicent. Millicent says, Ursula, my role as ops manager says I should have all the answers or I know it all, but I don't.
Is this from Millicent?
Millicent.
Yeah. Luckily, we're not in the know-it-all era anymore. We're in the learn-it-all era. Thank you for that question, Millicent, because that's the biggest question I often get. Oh, what do I do when I don't have all the answers? And that rings the bell of our imposter syndrome that really comes like, I'm going to be caught out feeling. And yet we know the answer. It's like, you don't have to have all the answers, but I can go find the answer for you. And that's just the shift. Don't have that right now. I'm getting onto it, putting in touch. Thank you for the hearts, Melissa. And I hope that answers and helps. Because so many people struggle with that. So many, it's that imposter syndrome. And
Absolutely.
yeah, if I may, because imposter syndrome is such a hot topic and so resonant for so many people. It was called the imposter phenomenon. And back when it started, but now the syndrome, it's almost like an illness. And the best way to wiggle out of that one is just remind yourself of your track record, because we all have a brilliant track record. Thank you.
Thank you, Ursula. Oh, that is so amazing. I think each and every one of us can take that advice for ourselves as well, reminding ourselves of our track record, what we've done well, and celebrate our achievements along the way, because a lot of us do struggle with that imposter syndrome. It's really a universal problem. So thank you for sharing your insights there. Paul said, I love the for now strategy. And Kathy also said, for now is doable. And just moving on to a question, Paul's asking, how do you distinguish authentic leadership with just being yourself? How do leaders, men and women, create environments where people don't feel they have to shrink themselves?
Thank you, Paul. What a beautiful question, because that's what it all comes down to. When we feel safe, right, then we get to express ourselves. And there are some amazing, and trust. So trust is the foundation, right, for leadership. And you get some amazing leaders who are quite hard. They got even I don't think Rusty like is always like gentle and like creates a safe space with the guys. I think sometimes he can be real, like hard and to the point, but yes, he's got the respect and the trust of the team. And there's no quick answer for that. But I do believe that a leader, because they're growing their people, the goal is there, but they're growing their people. And if I know you've got my best interest at heart, then I will give you my best work. So that's always how I see leadership. So it does come back to that powerful word trust. And trust is how we get to influence. Thank you. I hope that answered you, Paul. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ursula. We have a comment from Dawn. She said, for now is great. It does help to live in the moment and not to worry about everything else that I cannot control in that moment.
Absolutely. Can't control it all. Oh, would love to control it.
We would.
But this is agility, right? This is agility.
Absolutely. Ursula, I do have a question for you. It actually touches at the beginning of your presentation. So many women spend years waiting before they feel ready, before speaking up or applying for opportunities or stepping into leadership. What would you say to the woman who is still waiting for permission to take up space? And how does she begin to rewrite that story today? I know you shared a lot, but please give us insight on that as well.
Thank you. Stop saying no to those tiny opportunities, because you have to build the muscle. So sitting with a client who's feeling very frustrated because she really wants to get into that executive role, but even for her to say that she wants an executive role is really hard for her. And then when there's opportunities for it to be visible, to be seen, because at the end of the day, with leadership, with those promotions, the person who's writing and speaking and out there and visible and not just waiting for their work to speak for themselves, which is a narrative many women love, saying, oh, my work should speak for itself. You've got to speak for your work too. And so what are those little opportunities? When I ask them, like, is there an opportunity to speak, to host a meeting, to like, where are they? They're there. And then they're like, oh, yeah, I said no to that. I said no to that. I said no to that. And just start making those baby shifts because we have to build the muscle. I'm going to end with this last story. I know we're reaching the end. And there was a CEO who came and sat with me, and she said, you know, I got asked, and this is an award-winning woman, like in business. And she said, I got asked to go speak in Paris. They would pay for her flights. It was a great opportunity. She said, I said no because I was convinced they were going to throw me with baguettes. And then she told me her theory. And she said, I think that, and we love men, and this is nothing, we never male bash, but she says, a lot of men get opportunities to be the MC at the wedding, to say the toast at the event. Like in those low stake moments, they get to practice the visibility muscle so that when the big thing comes, it's easy. It's yes. So, what are those low stake moments? We call it low stake moments for high stake practice to start putting yourself out there and play your movie. How would that executive leader, next version of me, how does she show up? And embody her. And this is not the pretend part. This is you're that person. I hope that lands
Absolutely
well.
beautiful. I love
Thank
that.
you,
And
Mel.
showing up as the person you want to be, it's absolutely important. Ursula, we love you and we love spending time with you. We are at the end of the session, unfortunately. So thank you so much for sharing not only your research and expertise, but your heart. I think your message reminds us that influence is not something we can earn once we become enough. And it's exactly what you're saying now. It begins the moment we believe that we already are. Are we ready for now, is what she said. To everyone who joined us today, thank you for investing in yourselves. We hope today's session has encouraged you to think differently, lead more intentionally, and to step into every room knowing that your voice, your perspective, and your presence matters. Thank you very much for joining Spark Shift Succeed. Until next time, next week, Monday, 9 a.m., same place, MS Teams. Keep leading with courage, influencing with authenticity, and never underestimating the power of showing up as your whole self. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye.